Your body is decaying. Right now, this very second, you are aging faster than you should be. Your cells are breaking down. Your DNA is unraveling. And the worst part? You're the one accelerating it. The food you eat, the meals you skip, the times you indulge, the habits you ignore, every single choice you make is either keeping you alive, or digging your grave. Dr. David Sinclair, one of the world's leading longevity experts, has spent decades uncovering the terrifying truth about aging. It's not just natural, it's a disease. And diseases? They can be slowed, stopped, and even reversed. But only if you act. Right now. Because if you don't, you may not live long enough to regret it. Most people believe aging is just a fact of life, but what if I told you that you are aging yourself to death every time you eat? David Sinclair has made one thing clear. The modern diet is a death sentence. Your body wasn't built for constant feeding, processed meals, or sugary indulgences. And every bite of the wrong food? It's accelerating the countdown on your biological clock. Let's break it down. Firstly, sugar, the silent killer. Sinclair calls sugar the accelerant of death. It spikes insulin, wreaks havoc on your cells, and fuels a slow-burning fire of chronic disease, weight gain, and neurological decline. Every time you consume sugar, it forms advanced glycation end products, appropriately named AGEs, which literally age you from the inside out. Sinclair avoids it. So should you. Next, processed foods, the engine of decay. Ultra-processed foods are engineered to keep you addicted. They hijack your brain's reward system, trick your metabolism, and drown your body in inflammatory chemicals that speed up aging. They silence your longevity genes and put your body into a state of constant, uncontrolled damage. And yet, most people consume them daily, as if they aren't slowly poisoning themselves. Also, meat and dairy, fuel for faster aging. Sinclair follows a largely plant-based diet, avoiding most meats and dairy. Why? Because animal proteins spike IGF-1, a hormone that's beneficial when you're young but deadly as you age, linked to cancer, inflammation, and metabolic dysfunction. He eats minimal meat, no dairy, and prioritizes plant-based nutrition to turn off aging pathways. Because in the war against time, even the smallest choices matter. Imagine this. You're locked in a cage. No food. Your body begins eating itself alive to survive. Sounds horrifying. Good. Because that's exactly what happens when you fast, except instead of killing you, it triggers a biological reset. David Sinclair swears by fasting. Not because it's trendy. Not because it's easy. Because it's the single most powerful tool we have against aging. Let's discuss autophagy, your body's self-destruction mode. When you stop eating, your cells enter a process called autophagy, literally, self-eating. Your body scavenges damaged cells, destroys weak ones, and rebuilds stronger versions. This is why Sinclair fasts for 16+ hours a day and why you should too. Because if you don't allow your body to repair itself, it will rot from the inside out. And now, the 24-hour death reset. Even a single day of overfeeding can trigger long-term damage. Sinclair recommends a 24-hour fast once a week to purge dead cells, activate longevity genes, and reset your metabolism. It forces your body into scarcity mode, triggering emergency survival mechanisms that extend lifespan. Without fasting, your body never enters this repair state. It just decays, endlessly. Most people focus on what they eat, but when they eat is just as deadly. Sinclair has discovered that the timing of your meals can either slow down aging, or accelerate it. What's the danger of late-night eating? Eating late at night is like pouring poison into your system. It disrupts circadian rhythms, spikes insulin, and forces your body into constant fat storage mode. Sinclair's rule: eat early. Stop early. First meal, noon or later. Last meal, 6 or 7 p.m. This compressed eating window mimics ancient survival patterns, keeping your body in a state of repair, not destruction. Because when you eat at the wrong times, your body stays in growth mode. And when your body is always growing, it's also dying faster. Aging isn't just about getting older, it's about losing control. Your cells are like a biological machine, and every passing year, their function deteriorates. DNA damage accumulates, your mitochondria weaken, and your body becomes more vulnerable to disease. But Sinclair's research suggests that aging isn't just something that happens to you, it's something that can be controlled, even reversed. The key: activating longevity genes. Sinclair focuses on pathways like sirtuins, AMPK, and mTOR, all of which play a crucial role in cellular repair and energy regulation. When these pathways are activated, your body essentially goes into survival mode, repairing damaged DNA, clearing out malfunctioning cells, and increasing efficiency. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now, inside those who know how to manipulate the system. And how do you activate these genes? Through fasting. Through what you eat. Through when you need it. The rewards. Cells that repair themselves instead of breaking down. A body that reverses rather than accelerates aging. A mind that stays sharp, focused, and resilient long into old age. Ignore these principles, and your body will wither, your cells choked by oxidative stress and inflammation. But follow them, and you take back control. Imagine this: two men stand side by side. One is 65 years old, his skin sagging, his joints weak. Every movement is an effort. His bones are fragile, his muscles deflated. He lives in fear of the next fall, the next fracture, the next hospital visit. The other? He's also 65, but he looks 45. His body is lean, strong. His movements are fluid, precise, and powerful. He isn't afraid of getting older, because his biological age is decades younger than the number on his birth certificate. What separates them? Metabolic health. By following Sinclair's protocols, you lower blood sugar, control insulin resistance, and preserve muscle mass. This means stronger bones that don't crumble under the weight of time. More muscle that keeps you functional and independent. Less fat, especially visceral fat, the silent killer that wraps around your organs and accelerates disease. How do you achieve this? By avoiding sugar. By limiting protein intake. By practicing intermittent fasting. Every meal is a fork in the road, one path leads to frailty, the other to strength in old age. Your choice. What's worse, a body that breaks down, or a mind that fades into nothing? Cognitive decline is one of the most terrifying aspects of aging. Your ability to think, remember, and recognize, it's what makes you who you are. And yet, every day, millions unknowingly accelerate their own mental decay through bad diet, poor lifestyle choices, and metabolic dysfunction. Sinclair's research suggests that neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's are, in part, preventable. By maintaining a low-sugar, high-polyphenol diet, practicing fasting, and optimizing mitochondrial function, you can literally reshape the future of your brain. Here's what happens when you follow these protocols. Increased production of BDNF, a powerful brain protein that keeps neurons alive and growing. Less amyloid plaque buildup, meaning a reduced risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. More energy for brain cells, keeping cognition sharp even as you age. Now, imagine the alternative. Memory loss creeping in, stealing years of knowledge. The slow, horrifying realization that names, faces, and places are slipping away. The moment when your body is alive, but your mind is already gone. What you eat, when you eat, and how you treat your body dictates whether you'll remain sharp and independent, or become a prisoner in your own failing mind. Cancer. Diabetes. Cardiovascular disease. The three-headed monster of aging and mortality. But what if these aren't inevitable? What if they're the result of choices you can change today? Sinclair's protocols reduce inflammation, prevent metabolic syndrome, and starve cancerous cells before they take hold. Fasting triggers autophagy, clearing out precancerous and damaged cells before they multiply. A low-sugar diet lowers insulin resistance, reducing the risk of diabetes. Polyphenol and resveratrol could protect against heart disease, keeping your arteries clean and blood vessels young. If you ignore these principles, you're feeding the diseases that will one day consume you. If you follow them, you become untouchable, your body fortified against the silent killers that claim millions every year. Aging is not a passive process. It is a battle. A war being waged inside your cells every single day. Every decision you make is either fueling the fire of decay, or extinguishing it. If you embrace Sinclair's protocols, you don't just live longer, you live better. You stay strong, sharp, capable. You don't just survive into old age, you dominate it. But if you ignore the science, your body weakens, until movement itself is a struggle. Your mind fades, until your memories are nothing but echoes. Your organs fail, your cells rot, and time takes its toll. Sinclair isn't offering immortality, but he's offering the next best thing, the ability to stretch time, to control the speed at which you age. The question is, will you take control, or will time consume you? Because your body is either decaying, or regenerating. And the choice is yours.